Hi everyone, so there have been some great new products introduced at the drugstore lately. I've seen some awesome reviews on them, so I thought I would just give a little demonstration with some of my favorite products and then give you some of my thoughts on if I like them or don't. So if you'd like to hear my thoughts and see how I achieved this eye look, please keep watching. Alright, my eye is already primed with my Palladio Herbal Eyeshadow Primer. The first thing I'm going to do is use a base, and this is one of the Maybelline Color Tattoos. This one is in Bad to the Bronze, and this is an absolutely beautiful color. I've applied these a couple different ways, but the way that I have liked the most is using my P82 brush from Sigma. I'm just going to go ahead and just place that all over the lid. I absolutely love this color. I've been wearing it on its own, and I've also been topping it off with YDK from the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, and I have no trouble with these creasing. I've also applied these a couple different ways with some different brushes and with my fingers, and I find I get a more smooth application when I'm using a brush, and especially this synthetic brush just really applies the color nicely. Alright, the eyeshadow palette that I'm going to use is a new one from Rimmel. This is their Glam Eyes line, shaped like a little British flag. It's super cute. This particular palette is called English Oak. The colors are so nice and buttery, especially for a drugstore palette. But it does have one big issue, and I'm going to try to show you that. Look how small these eyeshadow pans are compared to just a normal eyeshadow brush. So it's really easy to be going for the center shade and getting a little bit of these two on your brush. So what I've been doing is just pinching my brush and then dipping it in. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do, and I'm going to take this middle shade right here in the corner on an angled eyeshadow brush. Alright, and I'm just going to take that and apply that directly to the lid. And you can just see the beautiful color. I'm really impressed with these palettes, and I find that they wear really well throughout the day. They don't get muddy or fade at all. Alright, with that same brush, I'm going to go into this middle dark brown color. Okay, and I'm just going to take this and just simply put it in the outer V. Alright, usually I use my Sigma E55 shading brush, but because these are so little, I had to go through and I found this little Stila eyeshadow brush, and it's a better size, and I'm going to go in with this lightest shade first, being careful not to get either of these darker shades on my brush. I'm just going to take this shade on the inner corner and just bring that in a little bit. Alright, and with that same brush, I'm going to take this beautiful rose gold. Alright, and that I'm going to place right in between the bronze shade and that light highlight shade, and just blend it in between those two colors and pull it over top the top of my eye just to bring some light there. Alright, next I'm just going to take a clean blending brush and just blend those colors together and just soften all the harsh lines. Okay, now for the tricky part. I'm going to try to take that same fluffy brush and pinch it just so I'm getting into this highlight shade, and then I'm just going to tap that onto my brow bone. Alright, now I'm just going to take my Sonia Kashuk brush and go in with the deepest shade and just smudge that on my lower lash line. Alright, all that's left to do is I'm going to add a little bit of brown eyeliner to my upper lash line and also the inner rim. And once I do that and add some mascara, I will be right back. Alright, so this is a completed look. I hope that tutorial, little mini tutorial, kind of showed you just how much I like the Glam Eyes palettes from Rimmel. I think they're really good quality, just as long as you don't mind messing with trying to keep your brush out of the other different sections. On my cheeks, I used one of the new Maybelline Dream Bouncy blushes. Alright, the one that I picked up is in Coffee Cake, and I actually was not very impressed. You can see just how much I bounced the Bouncy blush trying to get pigment. I didn't feel like it was, I felt it was very sheer and didn't give me much bang for my buck. Here's the swatch of Coffee Cake. I can't really talk speak to its like blending abilities, because when I put it on my cheeks, I didn't notice it at all. And I'm pretty fair and things really show up on me. So I'd be curious if you guys have any of these bouncy blushes, if maybe I just picked up a dud shade and the other ones are more pigmented. I used another new drugstore product on my lips, and this is L'Oreal's Balm. The color that I used is Caramel Comfort. When I first got it, I was a little disappointed because it's packaged just like the lip butter, so I thought it was going to be just as pigmented, but these are not. And then I looked up to see what their claims are, and the tagline is like a kiss of color. So they're not claiming to be that lipstick like pigment that the lip butters are. So for what they're saying, I think they are pretty nice. I'm not going to buy any more of them, but I'm not disappointed, and I actually really like this color. I don't have very pigmented lips, so I thought it showed up pretty nicely. Something else that I recently picked up at the drugstore, but I couldn't fit into the demonstration because there's only so much room to put on my eye, are the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows. These are so cool. They are like a pigment, like a damp pressed pigment, and they come with a little stopper that just makes sure that each time after you use it, you press it back down. The pigmentation is insane on these, and I also feel like they last better than a lot of my high-end shadows do. So when I put them on, you know, they go on really shimmery and pretty and rich, and then when I get home after a long day at work, I think that they still look just as good as they did in the morning. These are the two L'Oreal pressed eyeshadows I have. This one, this lighter one, is in Iced Latte, and this dark one is in Continuous Cocoa. And you can just see just how pigmented they are. This is just me pressing my finger down one time. Really impressed with both the pigmentation and staying power. Alright, so just to recap, color eye tattoos from Maybelline, hands down awesome product. Same goes for the L'Oreal Infallible pressed eyeshadows. Definitely recommend, nothing bad to say about either one of those. For the Glam eyes, I have 3 of these. I love these eyeshadows. I think the wear and pigmentation is great. My only downside is that you have to be so careful with your brushes. So if you don't mind to, you know, really work at these, I think they will give you beautiful looks every time. L'Oreal's Balm, take it or leave it. I probably won't be repurchasing any of these, but I don't think it's a bad product. And the only real dud of everything I've tried recently is the Maybelline Bouncy blushes. Just not my favorite. Alright, I hope you guys found this interesting and helpful. I would love to know your thoughts on some of the new items that are found at the drugstore. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.